Hey everyone, what's up? My name is Cef. On the other end of this beautiful camera microphone setup thing is Ricky.
Now,
Yes. And there is a lot going on in the world of wrestling and gaming, so we just want to sit back and throw our 2 cents in on pretty much everything that's going on. The first thing we're going to touch on, it's broke earlier today, and Ricky, I know you and I were talking about it just before we went live. You didn't hear about it. Starting in December, it'll be a hard start. Microsoft has announced a third-party ban on accessories. So, effectively speaking, any third-party controllers, headsets, which those were already kind of hard to come by, but anything that's third-party goes out the window.
yeah, so I have questions on this, since I haven't actually heard
Yes.
about it. I am a PC player. Yes, I have
Mm-hmm.
Xbox, but I'm primarily a PC player. Does this mean on, Microsoft games that I'm going to have to go buy a Xbox controller to play through my PC?
Doesn't seem that way. So it looks like it's a ban specifically geared for the consoles. Now, that's not to say that it's that if you launch like the Xbox Game Pass through your PC, I would doubt that it would affect that. But effectively, as it stands, if you have a third party device connected to your Xbox, you get a message that comes up and basically tells you that on November 1st, I think it's November 1st. I don't have the exact date in front of me here, but um, in the next month or so, your accessory will no longer be supported. That also seems like it's going to reach out to the devices like the Cronus Zen, which I think is an interesting bit of marketing for Cronus.
Sorry, doing research.
So yeah, I figured you were doing a little research on that. So I know there have been some other companies that have come out and already said that they are working on making sure their product still works on the Xbox, but effectively, like Turtle Beach, Scuff, Razer, I would assume HyperX as well. Those brands, like the brands that you could probably buy at Walmart, GameStop, Best Buy, those brands, I am assuming, are going to be perfectly fine. This also lines up with the rumor of Xbox wanting to launch officially licensed third party wireless controllers, which would make sense. They would want to basically shut down the third parties that you can already buy for like $20. But I
November
wonder
12th.
what November 12th. I knew it was coming up. Um, my thought though is that going to also fall into like your hard drive?
I wouldn't see what. So, right now, everything I'm reading just says that it's going to be affecting controllers. Um, but with that being said, if they're going to go this far with controllers, then sooner or later they're going to go that far with hard drives. Sooner or later they're going to go that far with headsets.
Well,
Sooner or
headsets they've
later,
kind of already, because you have to have that a specialized chip for wireless with Xbox anyway.
yes, but there are certain ones that say for Xbox with the Xbox Insignia on it, or it's just Xbox brand. In my
Yes.
opinion, and this is probably a hot take, is Microsoft just trying to end its gaming entirely? Like, I
I
don't get
don't
it.
think so. I don't
It
think so. It's a very Nintendo move of them to just say, "Hey, you can't use anything that we don't have a stamp in," because that's very Nintendo.
but Nintendo allows third party.
Yeah, yeah, but I don't think Nintendo would also sue somebody if they really wanted to. Microsoft is just shutting them down. They're actively going in and saying, "Hey, this your device is not something we've approved, so we're just not going to allow it to work. Have fun wasting your money." At
Yeah,
least Nintendo has the
which,
courtesy to shut the company down.
but all that's going to do is push people over to Nintendo, PC, or PlayStation.
Oh,
What's
absolutely,
so,
absolutely.
in my opinion, what's the point of going and buying an Xbox Series X now if you can invest more money in and play with, your competition controller on your PC?
Well,
The
because
the game
Microsoft,
overlap is damn near the same.
I would, I would venture a guess that Microsoft has always viewed the PC as part of their realm, and Microsoft looks at the subscription model as a forward movement of business. I think that as long as you're buying the Xbox Game Pass subscriptions on even on your PC, they don't care if you're buying it on the Xbox. They don't even care if you buy an Xbox. They think they're going to make more money off of you in the long run on those subscription models. I think that's what Microsoft's aiming for.
Here's the thing: most of what Microsoft has available usually becomes available on Steam. They have no money in Steam.
No, they're getting a cut on Steam. They have to.
Mm, not a very big one, because they otherwise Steam would be there within their set. Steam is a separate entity.
No, I would agree with that, but
Honestly, to me,
Xbox is yeah.
this is my opinion. This is one of the stupidest moves from a company whose only thing that they've had in the last several years that did them any sort of good was Starfield.
And Starfield isn't doing great either.
This this is a step in the wrong direction.
I,
Cool,
I would
you just went out and got a bunch of, titles and stuff for your Xbox. Great. Most of those are competitive titles that people use third-party controllers on to try and get a leg up on the opponent. You just shot
no,
yourself in the foot.
I am in complete agreement. I, Microsoft really hasn't. Let me rephrase that. The Xbox brand of Microsoft has not really done a service to its fans in a long ass time. And I think that this is just another one of those money first, consumer second decisions that is plaguing not just Microsoft, but I would say is plaguing the entire gaming industry right now. I mean, not just gaming, but the entire entertainment industry right now.
So, I know that there's still going to be more information about if, maybe this is just overreaction on our part. Maybe we didn't understand. But in my
Yeah,
opinion,
that's true.
if everything looks the way that it seems to be looking, say goodbye to your fighting tournaments on the Xbox. People are just going to move it off to PlayStation or Switch.
But to slightly cut you off for a moment there, what competitive tournaments are actually done on Xbox other than like Halo?
From what I know from like the fighting side of things, there are some people that do prefer doing Xbox because there was more options for an arcade stick that worked with it. But that was a third party thing.
Yeah.
So
So yeah,
take
no,
that
I
as
would
you
agree.
will.
Yeah. Just going to keep with the gaming thing with another one you probably haven't heard yet because this is one I only saw a couple reports on. Capcom is looking at the computer market, specifically the modding community for their games, and they're looking into ways to stop it. And
Capcom.
their reasoning.
Capcom.
Yes, Capcom.
Capcom.
Their
Don't
reasoning.
alienate your number one market.
Oh, I know. Their reasoning is they don't feel like, I'm going to paraphrase this. The modding community isn't wholesome, effectively. They don't like the. I'm assuming this is stemming from the naked Chun-Li at the fighting tournament, because somebody forgot to turn their naked Chun-Li mod off.
Well, then don't put her in the skimpiest thing that makes the 12-year-old little boy want to go, I want to see him boobies.
I mean, that's gonna happen no matter what.
I know, but still, they took it so far and didn't expect it to be taken further.
But to Capcom's defense, only in that statement regard, look at what Team Ninja did with Dead or Alive. As soon as Dead or Alive took the sexy out of that, Team Ninja took the sexy out of Dead or Alive, that game plummeted.
So
I am to be serious.
I am a little biased in this. Come at me if you will. I'm gonna look into the camera even though it's not on. I prefer Mortal Kombat anyway.
Which is fine. Like, Dead or Alive has never been.
Oh, that's not just that Dead or Alive. That's a Street Fighter. That's
game.
it.
Well, yeah. I mean, I would agree with you. I've actually more often than not preferred Mortal Kombat, but the ban overall affects not just obviously Street Fighter. They're looking at anything that's on PC. They want to stop the modding community, so that includes Monster Hunter. That includes everything that all of their market that's on PC. They want to stop the modding because they don't like it.
Cool. Enjoy losing money.
Right. Yeah.
The way I've always looked at it, if I was making a video game, if I was a video game company, and one of my games get picked up heavy by the modding community, instead of looking at how to stop it, I'm looking at who's the best so I can hire them for the next game.
Right. Like, they clearly have to have some talent to be able to do that.
Not just that. If they're making something that an entire sector of my fan base enjoys more than what I had in the base game, there's something there. And guess what? I can make money off that.
Yeah, absolutely. I think there's a business side of having to look at that sector versus your overall market. If you're looking at a 1% versus a 99%, ignore that 1%er. But if you're looking at a even 13%, I definitely wouldn't be trying to get rid of it. Now, I might not openly support it, but I definitely wouldn't get rid of it.
So,
that's just me.
I don't know. I once again, I've moved off to mostly playing PC, so maybe I'm a little biased in this one. But honestly, I can't think of a single time that I've been talking to someone other than one guy, and this guy loves all Capcom. But that someone has went, hey, you know what I'm excited for? The next Capcom game.
No.
Most of the people I talk to are like, hey, Capcom's great, but did you see what this guy did with it?
I don't know. Capcom.
Maybe I'm the heel here. Maybe I'm the bad guy.
I think Capcom is kind of the heel in this one, but not so far as to be like the big flashy Roman Reigns heel, if you will.
Capcom could go join Xbox. All right.
Don't know. No. No, and that's not as somebody who prefers PlayStation over Xbox. I just think consolidation is not good for the overall industry.
Oh, I'm saying in the fact that they're falling behind on times.
No.
Yep.
No,
I'm going full heel. Finish him. Okay.
Capcom is actually. You want to know a company that's falling behind the times? Square.
What was it? Sorry.
There's Square. Square, and the only thing keeping Square Enix afloat is Final Fantasy.
I'll completely agree with that, and that's as a Final Fantasy fan.
Yeah, same. If for some reason this next part of Final Fantasy VII remake flops, I don't know if we have a part 3 of Final Fantasy VII.
This is coming from a guy who will happily and openly say my favorite Final Fantasy was Final Fantasy X. And I can't think of a time after that I'm like, dude, this Final Fantasy's hitting out of the park. And trust me, I played almost all of them.
After 10, I played 10-2. I really liked 10-2.
I've never touched 10-2. I'm not going to sit here and act like I did.
I really liked 10-2, but I'm probably one of the 30 people on planet Earth that do. But really, outside of 10/10-2, I haven't enjoyed any of the Final Fantasy releases. What was that game they just came out with? I want to say the beginning of this year. That name's going to escape me.
So on cheerier notes, I'm just going to throw this out here because it's so left field. Yeah. I was playing on Steam earlier, and this is going to age me a little bit. And I'm just curious at how many of the fan base know what I'm talking about. There is an official port of the Nintendo 64 and PlayStation 1 versions of Glover.
The fact that I didn't even know that existed is shocking.
So Glover came out in the, Nintendo 64 era of puzzle platformers. Mario 64, Kirby, hell, all those. Donkey Kong. Where you played as a freaking glove. Yep. And your trusty partner was a ball that you could change the matter of. And quite literally, the rest of it, just red Mario or Kirby smashed together. Go here, face this boss, solve this puzzle. Woo, you get it wasn't a star, but it was a star.
Yeah. I forget what they actually are, but I know what you mean.
But I found it for $20 on Steam.
That feels a little expensive. I'm
curious what it's going for as... We'll go open box on this.
Open box? That's still gonna be a...
Hold on, we're going open box. Came out in 98. Let's see. Trolls. How much shopping?
I'm seeing it on eBay for $12. $12 to $25.
Yep, that's about the range I'm finding. Of course, everyone's favorite, DK Oldies, has it for $20. We won't even get into that. That was sarcasm if you didn't know.
I actually like the little videos they do.
I've heard nothing but bad from people that's actually bought from them, though.
I don't know. Maybe we'll buy from them and do a review.
You know what? Bet.
Hey, speaking of bets,
oh dear God!
What do I owe you? Would you take a bet as to when you think when Roman Reigns is set to compete again after Crown Jewel?
Rumble.
Yes. Yeah. our tribal chief is missing Survivor Series. That do that pisses me off.
That's WWE.
Yeah, so surprise everyone. I will be going to SmackDown in what, 2 weeks now?
Something like that. And
Yeah, something
we
like
are
that.
expecting him to come back with, a review.
Oh, not only am I going to have a review, I'm going to probably check out the X and Facebook page. I will have hopefully a couple pictures up there. You'll see myself. You'll see my daughter. You will see a good friend of both Ricky and I's, Dylan. He's a piece of shit.
Dylan, you're such a piece of shit. We love you.
He really is. But he did buy my tickets. So
Macaroni and cheese.
hey, yeah. So that's going to debate that everybody gets to take part in soon. We're going to be asking questions about mac and cheese. So get ready for that, guys.
We're not doing it.
We're doing it. I'm only mad. I'm super mad that I forgot to ask legendary Larry D during the interview about it, because I was super ready and then I completely forgot.
All right, so Capcom is a piece of shit. Xbox is a piece of shit. Cef is a piece of shit.
You know who else is a piece of shit?
I'm waiting.
Oh, I thought you were like your mic cut out, or you were trying to figure it out. Yeah, we're gonna get slightly political with our old job here. GameStop. That's a piece of shit. Yeah, so definitely not trying to like super disparage a place that I worked at. Ricky worked as well. A lot of fun there, but I think this is something our audience finds value in, as it is a, for better or worse, they are, in terms of brick and mortar, one of the only places to buy new video games, and especially new video game systems. Recently, they have announced a change to their product replacement plan. That change being that should you be purchasing it and say you buy a new PlayStation 5 controller, you buy their protection plan, something goes wrong, you go into the store. Originally, how it would work is you would get another new controller. That plan has now changed to where they prioritized refurbished and pre-owned controllers or systems or games or whatever to the new one that you purchased. Now, I know with cell phones and even cars, probably, that that's kind of the norm. Maybe this is just me reaching, but I feel like that's kind of a slap in the face, considering GameStop really needs a positive public perception right now. I get that they're wanting to save money where they can, and pre-owned for them is a premium. It's where they make their money. I don't think that's not common knowledge. But I feel like that's just a little, maybe it's me being too consumer friendly, but I feel like that's underhanded.
Oh, awkward silence. I got distracted looking at something. I was like, oh, well, he's talking about that. I want to take a look at something else, and just completely fucking zoned.
Yeah, no, I mean it's a touchiest subject. Like I said, it's, you know, they paid our bills, but I think this is not a slam fest. This is just kind of, this is what's out
Oh,
there. And
no. Here's what I'll say. A, don't like that. B, there's a reason I left them.
yeah,
I'll leave it at that.
that's not. We're not going to get into the reasons why either of us left or anything to that nature. Is that's not important to the conversation. Um, but I do feel that the people watching this deserve to, at least if they haven't heard about it, from their local store. The information's out there. It's on Reddit. I feel people deserve to hear about it. I don't want to spend too much time dwelling on that place, though. I just figured that was something that would be interesting to talk about.
I think this has been a really good video game episode so far, guys. So I want to end it on a happy note because there's been a lot of bitching in this episode from us.
Yeah, a very surprising amount of complaining and whining from us.
We're going to have to name this one Only Kinda Angry.
Right.
So I want to hear in chat, well, not chat, sorry, I'm still used to Twitch, in the comment section, I want to hear from everybody what video game they have enjoyed so much this fall. Because so far we've had a lot of releases, we still got a lot coming up, but I want to see what everyone's playing and what everyone's enjoying so far.
What are you enjoying?
I myself am in the middle of Spider-Man. I'm about halfway through. Yes, the story's a little short, but the attention to detail is like none other. It rewards me as a comic book nerd.
Solid. I am still knee deep in Baldur's Gate.
I'll be returning to that.
Yeah. I've also been playing Mario Wonder, which is fantastic. I briefly spoke about it on one of my earlier videos. Probably 3/4 of the way through the game now. The only complaint I can say... No, go ahead.
There is a game that I want to play, and if I play it, this is a promise for me, guys will get a full review on it. I am a Lord of the Rings fan. As any Lord of the Rings fan knows, earlier this year, Gollum happened. We don't talk about Gollum.
It did in fact happen.
They just released another game from a completely different company, but it's Lord of the Rings themed, called Return to Moria.
Is that along the lines of the Shadows of Mordor stuff?
No. So it's actually a survival crafter where you are a dwarf and you are reclaiming Moria after the Third Age.
Okay.
It's got some mixed reviews. I know a lot of people are not even giving it a shot, saying Gollum. Fair freaking point, guys. Trust me, I get it. But what little bit of gameplay I've seen, I don't think this one should be slept on as much. Also, yeah, they messed with the timelines a little bit, but come on, if you're going to have a dwarf game, you've got to have Gimli announce it. Well, yeah, they got the voice actor from Gimli to do the opening credits.
Which makes sense.
In a way, technically, he would have had nothing to do with this.
But it's the name value. It's what people want. They want something to cuddle them after Gollum did things to them.
Gollum did many, many things. Is it a AAA game? No. Is it masquerading as a AAA game? No.
No, it's not even pretending to be a AAA game. It's like that weird fetish game that you find on Steam that you're like, oh, this is going to be great. I'm going to buy it for hee-hees, but you don't realize it's $60. And then you're like, oh, this was a mistake. And I put 2.5 hours into it, and Steam's like, ha, sucks to be you.
A, you sound like someone hurt you. B, this game's only $40.
We don't talk about the hurt.
And it's through Epic. That's my only issue. Is I have an issue with Epic, but that's neither here nor there.
We're not complaining. No more complaints.
Welcome to the only kind of complaint department. Today we bitch uncontrollably and cry a little into our soup. There's no soup. There's spaghetti.
I had chili for dinner, so yes, I did have soup.
I had spaghetti.
That sounds sad.
Type of soup if it's too watery?
Wait a minute. Hold on. What? I was getting ready to end the episode. Now, hold on. Hold on.
What do you mean watery spaghetti? Like I'm about to turn the camera on. What do you mean watery spaghetti?
I don't know. I just wanted to trigger you, to be honest. It's that easy.
It does not help that I have spent the last week and a half watching Hell's Kitchen and Kitchen Nightmares. So I'm like cranked up on Gordon Ramsay stuff, and you're talking about watery spaghetti.
Okay, I've got two things, and we'll end the episode on part number 2. Because it's just we're going to end it halfway through a Seth Rage. But number 1, the fact that Gordon Ramsay has frozen dishes now cracks me up.
Have you tried them?
Negative, I'm going to.
I've tried 2 of them. I'm going to stop right there. I've tried 2 of them. The macaroni, the 4-cheese macaroni, good. The fish and chips, the fish tasted more like chips than the chips tasted like chips. Part 2, go.
Part 2, and she's no longer with us, but I have to share this with y'all. I want you to think about you were settling up to a nice bowl of spaghetti. And then close your mind, just picture that flavor. And y'all have a good night as you think about the fact that my grandma used to put sugar in it. Bye.
That's not that bad.
What the fuck did you just say to me?